Hang on, it's on air. Hi guys, I hope that you can see us. My name is Diane Purdy, and tonight I would like to introduce you to EricaUdeanu, who is a six-figure earner in our business and an amazing lady. So, Erica, I'd like to sort of hand you over to join the conversation by starting off by just letting us know how you got into online marketing.
All right. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me here. Can I hear an echo or not? No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure. Yeah. So again, Dan, thank you very much for inviting me.
My pleasure.
I'm hearing an echo. Is it on your side or my side?
I've got nothing on other than the opening, the Hangout.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay. So as long as your viewers can hear everything, okay, that's fine. Everything I'm saying is being repeated in my ear, but it's all good. So first of all, thank you very much for inviting me. It is beautiful to see you again. You and I have worked together for quite some time, and it is beautiful to see you here hosting, shows like this, and really opening up to the wider audience what it is that we do here. So long story short, as Diane mentioned, my name is EricaUdeanu. I started in this industry back in October of 2011, and prior to that, I didn't even know that this industry existed. Prior to that, I was an art auctioneer working on cruise ships with my husband. We had a magnificent life. We had a fairy tale life. Like, we had absolutely zero reason to ever look at anything beyond what we were doing. But as we all know, the crash of 2008 was devastating for many, many people. And, people lost their homes, they lost their careers, they lost their marriages, they lost families. Lives were absolutely decimated, like absolutely decimated. And, we hung in for as long as we could doing what we were doing, but we were selling a luxury item. So when you can't pay for your mortgage and you can't work out how to put your kids through school and you can't work out how you're even going to put food on the table, it is really, really difficult to sell a luxury item. And basically, we went through 3 years of just seeing our careers just slowly slide into the toilet. And everyone has a turning point. Everyone has that moment where they say, you know what, we can't take this anymore, right? And our moment, if you're familiar with our story, our moment came when we had just worked this horrible cruise. And I want you to imagine this scene. We're selling luxury items, and we have people coming to our auction room basically going, where's the food? Where's the food? Where's the drinks? Right? Like, they weren't even interested in what we were doing. And so for an hour, I'm standing up on the stage and I'm, I love my product. I loved my product so much. If you can imagine, I would stand beside my paintings and I would stroke them. I would stroke the frame because I loved these artists. I loved the stories. I loved everything about what I was doing. I loved my product. And not one single person in the room gave a damn. Not one single person. They wanted the free champagne. They wanted the free nibbles. They wanted their raffle ticket, right? Want to win some free stuff. Want them some free stuff, right? You can imagine at the end of that hour how I felt. And anyway, I continued. If I want to, I can call an auction off. I can stop it whenever I want. I can literally just throw all my toys out of the pram and say, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do the raffle and we're out of here, right? But no, I went through. And I'm like, you never know. There might be some magic in the room somewhere. Somewhere there might be a whale. Somewhere I might reach somebody. But no, I reached nobody. And so we finished that auction. And if you can imagine, our art gallery was almost like in the bowels of the ship. If you've ever been on a cruise ship, which is where we worked, you have decks. And literally deck 0, 1, 2, and 3 is pretty much where crew and staff and, all the, galleys and stuff like that happens, right? We were on deck 3. We were on deck 3. That's where our art gallery was. And we were in this open atrium area. And 10 stories above us was the buffet. So imagine, we're in this atrium area. 10 floors above us is a buffet. Children, brats, were throwing spaghetti on our heads.
Oh, no. What about the paintings?
Oh yeah, the spaghetti was going on the paintings as well.
Oh no, serious?
Serious. I'm glad you can see how horrifying that is. But the parents couldn't see a problem with it.
But these things are for sale. That's how you make your income.
So we've got red spaghetti being thrown from the buffet. It's landing on the paintings. And of course, we can't say anything, because we're staff. So you can't, say anything to anybody. And then we open up the commission check. So when I say we open up a commission check, what that means is at the end of the cruise, we have to download all of our reports. I've got spaghetti flying at my head. I've had the worst auction of my life. And I download the report. Now, at that point, I didn't realize how bad it was. I downloaded the commission report and I snapped. I absolutely snapped. We were taking home that week $9.38. Now, there's something extremely degrading about not even making a two-figure sum. I couldn't even make $10 that week. I made a one-digit figure that week. One digit.
Wow. That is harsh.
I was gutted, and we'd been watching the decline for 3 years, but you get a breaking point. When you realize you've been working for 17 cents an hour, you're like, this is ridiculous, this is retarded. And it had something to do with the kids throwing spaghetti on me. It's like, really? I'm like a thing in the zoo? You can just throw food at me? No. And I snapped, and I burnt my bridges. Literally, I reached across the art auction table and I put my hand on top of my husband's hand. And I said the words that will forever change our lives. I said, hun, if we work as hard on our own business as we do this job, we would have to be successful. We had been toying around with this little MLM idea. About 6 months ago, my hairdresser had told me he has a travel business. He makes $5,000 a month doing nothing. I'm like, oh, that sounds fabulous. So we had been investigating this little thing for about, 3, probably 4 months, 5 months. We'd done a little bit of dabbling in the internet cafes around town, when we had days off, and we were Googling stuff, So we thought we knew what we were doing, but I realized now we had no clue, right? So when we opened up that commission check, we snapped, we resigned, and we walked off the ship. Now, if you want to burn your bridges on a cruise ship, walk off. The next turnaround port, walk off. You are done. You're done in the industry. Because what that means is you have broken a contract, a legal and binding contract. You have put the cruise line out because they have no one to replace you. You've put your concession out because they didn't know that you were leaving, so they've got no one to replace you. You're done. You're done in the industry. So, you hear this saying a lot, don't have a plan B because it distracts you from plan A. I couldn't even activate my plan B because I'd burnt my plan B, right? So that puts a lot of pressure on you. So we went home to New Zealand. Confident that, we're going to, what's so funny? I always remember a couple of weeks before I snapped and we were hearing, all of this money we could make with this little MLM thing. I remember saying to my husband, oh, we could go home and save New Zealand. We could go home and save New Zealand because we didn't know about MLM. Yeah, we didn't know about MLM. We thought this was brand new. You know what I mean? We're going to save New Zealand. And I had visions of, going to all of the major towns in New Zealand, like bringing home this amazing opportunity, and we were going to free the masses, right? I honestly believed that. I honestly believed that doors would open and everyone would be like, oh my God, I'm so glad you saved us. We came home and no one cared.
Sorry, Erica, for interjecting, but don't you find that is generally the thought that most people have when they join a new organization, an MLM or an affiliate or a network marketing? They think it's like so easy and it's just going to explode and they're going to save the world.
Yep. If you're brand new, if you've never done this before and you've never heard of this industry, you think you're going to save the world, And I think that's why brand new people have that belief that they can do anything because they've never tried it before, right? But there's something about the MLM world that they shut you down real fast. And it doesn't take you long to realize that you can't make $5,000 a month doing nothing. You can't. You have to work. And you have to work your ass off. And
but the problem is fairy dust or something you can just fairy dust, you can just sprinkle it over?
Apparently not. And if there is, I never found the fairy dust. And here's the thing, you know, one of the things with the offline world is that they tell you to go and make a list of all your family and friends. You guys have probably already heard this.
Yeah.
Our family were absolutely distraught that we had quit our jobs. They kept saying, get real, right? Do whatever you can, get your jobs back. So we had no family that we could turn to. And we had no friends because we've been on ships for over a decade. So we knew nobody in New Zealand. We knew nobody. So we couldn't make a list of family and friends because we had no friends. And our family had already started to turn against us. And so it was going to be like real cold, right? And I always remember another turning point when my husband said, we are not doing this, was we went into Vodafone to get a plan for our phones. And the guy in the Vodafone store had a screensaver of a beautiful red hot car, right? And I saw the car, and my husband knew exactly what I was about to do. I was about to go into form, you know, family, occupation, recreation, money, right? And my husband, I'll never forget, he clenched my arm, squeezed it, and he pulled me away. He goes, we are not doing this. We are not those people. And I'm like, well, if we're not those people, what kind of people are we, right? So then I started Googling online, like, how do I get leads for my offline business, right? And then one thing led to another, which is how we ended up here. Now, here's a funny thing, and to everyone listening, I want you to really grasp this point. You need to be open to everything that comes your way, because when you're on a mission to find something, the universe is going to present you with opportunities, and it's up to you to embrace everything that comes your way and work out where your path is going. Isn't it interesting that we quit our jobs the exact same month that Empower Network was born? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that we didn't quit 3 years before? We didn't quit 2 years before. We quit the month that Empower Network was born. Isn't that interesting? I joined the very week that Empower Network was incorporated. I find that fascinating. So I think, you know,
that you moved to another organization.
Say again?
But you moved to another MLM company first.
Well, we were in a travel MLM.
Yeah.
So we were trying to build this little travel MLM, and it took us 3 weeks to work out that we were not offline people. So we went online to try and get leads for the offline thing. And then when we found out that you can kind of like do 1,000 presentations, like with one video, we were sold, right? And we were still thinking that we could use the online world for the offline thing. And then we realized that the offline model didn't work, but the online model does. And then we just went full out. We just went full out with Empower. So yeah, that's how we ended up here in the internet world.
Awesome. Now I know that you and Alex, who's your husband, you guys, your passion lies around with helping and working with newbies. So do you want to share a little bit about how that came about?
That came about through a whole lot of pain. It's a part of our story, you know. It's a part of our story that is really painful. You know, when Alex and I first got started, we joined a couple who were very high profile, and unfortunately, the minute we joined, they decided to go and build something else. So for the first 9 months that we were in Empower, we had no one to turn to help us, and it was scary. It was frustrating. It just did my head in, right? Every single time we needed to work something out, it would take us a month to 6 weeks because nobody would reach back and tell us how to do something. No one was interested, right? And I remember thinking that if we ever work this internet marketing thing out, I am not going to let anyone in my team feel or be treated the way we were. And I'm like, this sucks. No wonder there's a huge quitting rate, right? Because people weren't getting support.
Yeah.
And so
they say that 8 out of 10 people resign from online businesses.
Yeah. See, we don't have a failure problem in this industry. We have a quitting problem. But people quit because they don't get access to people who will just shine a light on the path. you know. And you know, last year I started doing public boot camps. You know, I did one. I did a free one, and I honestly didn't think anyone would turn up. I did not think anyone would turn up. Normally I do, you know, boot camps for our team. But this time I decided I think it was April of 2015. And I did one little video and I put it out there on Facebook. I said, hey guys, I'm doing a free boot camp, 10 weeks. I'm going to teach you everything from A to Z. If you want to join, join. How many people did we have in that one? It was like, I want to say like 87 people or something.
Yeah, it was huge.
I was floored. I was floored. I had no idea that there were so many people who didn't want to be handheld. They just wanted a light shined on the path. That was all, right? Just someone help me connect the dots. And that's when basically we started to form the Online Newbie University to put as much information as we possibly could into that platform so that people could just go, you know, hey, how do I set up a Google Hangout? Boom, here's a training. How do I do my first blog post? Here's a training. How do I do a sales funnel? Here's the training. Do you know what I mean? And so we really wanted to be a resource.
But the strange thing is, sorry, your website is the most amazing website I know for information and clear information and easy steps, but people still don't go through it, because I know that I've sent it to a couple of people and they still come back and they say, well, how do I do this? And I say, well, it's on the website. I sent you the link. And they go, oh, I didn't realize. I thought it was just a blog. So they don't even look.
Interesting. Okay. See, that could be my fault too, that I haven't. That could be my fault. See, that's great feedback. If people can't find the training, then that's up to me to make my website better. Thank you.
No, seriously, it's absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you, Dan. No, I'm very passionate about newbies getting access to the information they need to just keep them going. You know, because in the beginning there are a few little things that need to get set up, but they're not difficult. They're not difficult. They're just stuff that needs to get done, right? And everyone works it out. Everyone that you see getting, you know, certain results, they've all worked it out, and it's just a matter of following the steps. That's it. And it's pretty basic, really. It's pretty basic. At the end of the day, all you need is a blog, you need a capture page, you need an autoresponder, and you need a great offer, and you need some great back-end products. And that's it. You know, so Empower Network does most of that. All you got to do is just put some of those little things together. Yeah.
Now, you've been in the industry with the amazing six-figure earners, which is an absolute blessing. And I never even knew that last year when I was working with you. You kept that very well under the wraps. So, you know, you're very humble. But I'm just curious to know, because I know that, you know, what is your advice? Because I know the organization, I was focused on one thing and it wasn't sort of working. So I started jumping to this person and watching what they're doing, then jumping to the next person and watching what they're doing, and buying this product and buying that course and doing this and doing that and it went, you know, and I think that's what most of us do. Yeah.
And I can see where you're going with this question, and let me just jump in and say this. There is no secret, okay, and there is no magic button.
No, I believe that everything we need is in our company. Yeah.
And the other thing is that there's no shortcut to success. There's no shortcut. You know, Empower, with the tools that they have within the iPass marketing system and the products themselves, have done the best they can to create a shortcut, right? But there's still no shortcuts to learning, because you have to learn everything that the company provides. Okay, you got to go through all of the products.
That's the secret.
Yeah, the people who struggle the most are the ones who do not plug into the products. They don't plug in. They pretend they do. They buy them, but they don't plug in. You know, I'm going through the master's course right now, and I honestly don't believe I've been through it since 2012. If I did, I can't remember periods of going through it again. And I am blown away, because what I realize now, it just smacked me big full on in the face the other day. I started, I don't know, maybe 10 days ago. Everything I know, most of the words that come out of my mouth, most of the training I do, most of the mindset I have is from that product, the Masters. I'm going through that course and I'm like, oh my God, I say that. Oh my God, I teach that. Oh my God. And I'm like, that was the year. That product came out in 2012. And a year later, we did our first 6 figures. And I know now, because I'm going through the product again, I know that our success came from that product, that one product. Yes, there was a lot of strategies in the 15K formula. And yes, we've got a lot of great stuff in the inner circles for mindset, but it was the masters. It was the master's course where I got my 6-figure education right there. Why? Because 6-figure and 7-figure earners were sharing everything about what it took to get to a 6-figure income. And I must have soaked that thing up like a sponge, because as I'm going through it now, I'm like, oh my God, these are the words that come out of my mouth. It's amazing. And sometimes I'll be telling stories, right? And I'll be like, look, I can't remember where I got the story from, but boom, and I blurt it out. And now that I'm going through the masters, I'm like, oh my God, it was all here, all of it. But I must have been a sponge that first year and just soaked it all up.
Our mind is amazing because, you know, it's, even if you listen to something and you think, oh my God, this is so above my head, our unconscious is actually taking it in. And you don't realize that till a couple of days later or a few weeks later, you go, I know that. Hey, how did I realize? And oh yes, I remember now. So, you know, for anyone who's watching this, it's really empowering to know that even if something to you seems above or beyond, or you say, well, I'll do that later when I'm at another stage. I mean, I'm sure you'll agree with me, Erica. It's the time is now. If you've got the products, go through them now. It's not going through them at a later stage, because the training is now when you start.
And just on that note, you know, I must really, really stress this point. There is no point doing a whole lot of training if you do not implement straight away. There is no point doing a whole lot of training if you do not implement immediately. I emphatically stress that you should be spending, I would say, 10% of your time in training mode and 90% of your time in doing mode. 10% training, 90% doing, because it's in the doing that you're going to master that thing that you just learned. You do not get paid for what you know. You do not get paid for theory. You get paid for what you create. You get paid for what you create. You do not get paid for learning. It's in the implementation of the knowledge that you take in that you get paid. And the only way you're going to get good at something is to do the thing. You got to do the thing. If you don't do the thing, you don't get paid. It's that simple, you know. And I know a lot of people, they wait and wait and wait to be perfect. They wait and they wait and they wait to be ready. They wait and they wait and they wait to launch. They want to make sure that all of their ducks in a row before they launch, right? And here's the thing, it ain't going to be pretty when you launch. It ain't going to be pretty, right? But the only way you get pretty is by just putting it out there. Tweaking a little bit here and tweaking a little bit there. And here's the thing, you will never be perfect. You will never be perfect. So if you're waiting to be perfect, you're never going to launch, right? You're never going to be perfect, right?
We had some people, I remember we did that on the course. We were all sitting there sort of building up our fan pages, but we weren't sure, it wasn't public. We had them like secret because we didn't want to expose them. We didn't have enough content, or we weren't sure of whether we had the correct background or whatever. And you going at us going, put it out there, put it out there. We go, no.
You just got to get it out there. And here's the thing, right? It is so beautiful for you to show up imperfect, because then your prospects will look at what you're doing and go, that's it? Well, I can do that, right? But if you show up too perfect, they're going to be like, oh, I could never do that. And that's the beauty of imperfection. It shows normal, average people that you can be normal and average and make this business work. You do not need to be a rock star. You do not need to be Frank Kern. You do not need to be Mike Dillard. You do not need to be Diane Hockman, right? Yeah. You just got to start. You just got to start and be you. And remember, every single name I just mentioned started at zero, knowing nothing. Mike Dillard started as the worst copywriter on the planet. His emails sucked. How did he get good at them? He wrote 1,000 of them. He wrote 1,000 emails before he started getting good, right? And a lot of times, you know, we think that success should kind of come quickly. Well, it'll come quicker if you start implementing and you start mastering a few things. Now, here's the thing you said a few moments ago. You said, you know, a lot of people jump all over the place, and that's so not the right thing to do. You must find 2 strategies, maximum 2 in the beginning, 2 strategies to focus on that are going to pull traffic to you, to generate leads that you can then convert into sales. You cannot say, today I'm going to focus on Facebook PPC, right? And you buy a course and you learn Facebook PPC, and then you run 3 campaigns, they bomb, The first 9 will bomb, but they bomb and you go, oh, that doesn't work. Okay, well, today I'm going to go and learn YouTube PPC. So you run over to YouTube, you go and buy a YouTube course, right? And you learn everything and you put up a couple of campaigns and they bomb. The first 9 are going to bomb. Oh, well, this doesn't work. You know what? I'm going to go over to Instagram. So you go over to Instagram, you open up a couple of accounts. You don't get a whole lot of leads and conversions. Oh, Instagram doesn't work. Well, guess what? If you'd stuck with Facebook PPC for 3 months or 6 months, you'd make that puppy work, right? You can't jump around. You have to pick a strategy that you can fall in love with and that you're prepared to master. And until you are cracking out 30 leads a day, you do not move from that strategy. Like just recently, if you guys have been watching, you know, my husband about 6 weeks ago decided to jump onto Instagram, right? He'd never done Instagram before. Never done it before. First week, nada. Second week, nada. Third week, nada. Fourth week, nada. He's getting grumpy, right? Fifth week, got some leads coming in. Sixth week, he woke up to 54 leads the other morning. 54 leads. Now, what if he got grumpy at week 4 and said, Instagram doesn't work? No. He's like a saber-toothed tiger. He takes a thing and he rips it to bits and he makes it work. He makes that thing work. He shrieks the shit out of it, right? Until he gets what he wants. And we've done that with every strategy. You know, with Facebook PPC back in 2014 was when we first jumped in paid ads. Man, that was a nightmare to learn, but we learned it and we got really good at it. Massive leads coming in, right? We got shut down a year later. Hence why we're on Instagram now. And that's another thing, guys. If one strategy gets shut down, you're going to need a backup plan. You can't have all your eggs in one basket. And that was a big mistake we made. We had all of our eggs in one basket, and that was Facebook PPC. We had stopped blogging, which we had a really serious lead flow from. We had stopped doing our YouTube videos, right? Because we just wanted to push some buttons. We wanted to push some magic buttons and have a sweet life. Well, we put all of our focus into Facebook PPC, and it was awesome. It was amazing. A year later, we got shut down. We had nothing. We had nothing. We had no backup plan. So we were back to square one. I had to get back to blogging.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I had to get back to YouTube videos.
I ask you on that one because I know you used to blog maybe once, twice a week, and for the last, say, 60 odd days, because I know you're doing a 90-day challenge. You've been blogging every single day. Can you just explain to us what has happened to your page rankings and things since you started writing every day and posting every day?
Yeah, our Alexa ranking, when I first got, we opened up Online Newbie University, it would have been about 18 months ago, and our Alexa rank was around 15 million. Like, we didn't even rank on the charts, right? And I was doing a little bit of blogging here and a little bit of blogging there, and we got it down to about 8 million. I can't remember exactly what it was right before I started this, 90-day I Am Core challenge. But I want to say it was around the 1.8 to 2 million mark, right? Within 40 days of blogging every single day, we had that thing down to, I think the lowest we got it down to was 871,000.
My God, that's awesome.
Yeah, just from blogging every single day. And I made a challenge, right? Here's the thing, and I said this after Generation Hero, the event we had in Miami. I cannot ask my team to do anything that I'm not prepared to do myself. So I set up this challenge, which was literally, I copied out the 8 core. I actually have not posted it this week because I've had so much other stuff to post on my wall that this thing was just getting in the way. No, it was just getting in the way, and it was kind of like, kind of redundant. I know that I'm core. I know that I'm blogging every day, and I'm putting my blogs out and stuff like that. But I've stopped actually writing that thing because there's so much other stuff going on that it was just kind of redundant. But it's like, I cannot ask my team to blog daily if I'm not. I cannot ask my team to read daily if I'm not. I cannot ask my team to listen to an inner circle every day if I'm not. I can't ask my team to go to events if I don't. I can't ask my team to do anything that I'm not prepared to do myself. And see, that's what happens a lot in this industry. People will do what you do, not what you tell them to do. They will do what you do, not what you tell them to do.
Yeah. And one of the things that I learned from you, because I know a lot of people that when they first join, or even when they've been here for a while, they say, I have no idea what to blog on. But if they're following the core commitments of our company that we have, that our leader David constantly reminds us we should be doing, if they are reading and they are listening to the inner circle, I mean, that in itself is such valuable information. You can write about what you've read about. You can write about what you've learned or listened to in the inner circles. You can shoot a video. You know, it's all the material is there, and I just don't get it when people say, "Oh, this is so hard," because, you know, I don't know what to do. I've got no content to write about, and I just go, "Wow, YouTube."
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, when I set up this challenge, there were days when I'm like, oh my God, what do I blog about? And I discovered that in my first year or my second year, I had written extensive notes on every single inner circle I had ever listened to.
Yeah.
Guess what I did? I copied all my notes and I threw them into a blog post. I, you know, tweaked everything and made them look like a blog post. I had content for days and days and days and days, right? So people who say, you know, I have nothing to write about, it means you're not reading and you're not going through your products. This book here, The Conscious Millionaire, I've actually written 3 posts from this book. Literally, he will set out some exercises to do, and there might be 3 steps to such and such. In the copyrighted section at the front, I discovered that I am allowed to word for word reproduce this book as a brief excerpt. And what that means is you cannot copy more than 10% of the book. Well, 1 page is about 500 words, and that's all I need for a blog, right? So I have literally copied that, word for word paragraphs from this book. You just got to, you have to look in the copyright section at the front though. So like in this one, except for brief excerpts for review purposes, no part of this book may be reproduced. So if you actually Google the legal definition of brief excerpts, it's 10%. So you're covered. And then you just have to reference back to the book. Make sure you do reference the book that you're copying from, and, you know, give them, you know, the rights that they deserve. And there's a blog post. There's a blog post. So yeah, that's something I learned the other day that I didn't know. Yeah. So if anyone says they're running out of content, they have no imagination, 0 imagination.
Well, the other thing is, I also don't think that they're going through their products within our organization, because for me, I've been blown away by the amount of training. I mean, the amount of growth, personal growth that I've got through since I've joined our organization has been phenomenal. So much so that it's motivated me to actually go outside of the company to look for more information, because it's just like, I've just been so like enveloped by this whole lot and become so passionate about it that I just want to know everything. And I mean, I'll never know everything, and it's like wherever I can get information, I'm going out there and I'm trying to find it and learn more. And, you know, again, YouTube is a wonderful source of motivational stuff and research and everything else. So it's amazing. And even reading other people's blogs, you don't copy them word for word, but you can get ideas. You can say, oh yeah, actually, yeah, that aligns with myself or whatever. Or even if it's a learning thing. I mean, Diane Gartland, who's on your team or our team, I was absolutely blown away by one of her blogs the other day. I was looking on YouTube for something and heard it, and it was the only one that I could follow. It was like, wow, thank you, Diane.
Interesting. She'll love to hear that.
Yeah. No, it was awesome, because, you know, I went on there and I searched because I couldn't find it in the back office what I was looking for, and she had done this video, and it was so easy to follow that, you know, it fixed my issue for me.
Fantastic. That's great. Kudos for the team. So thank you. Yeah. Awesome.
No, well, you are. I mean, Tilt is an amazing team, and they're so supportive of one another, and, you know, I don't think that anyone ever would not help the other. It's just part of your culture that you brought into it.
And here's the thing, the culture of Tilt was founded because of everything that I saw that was wrong with how I got brought into the industry. And I'm like, this needs fixing. Like this, we need to turn this on its head, right? And again, like I said, you know, a few moments ago, we don't have a failure rate. We have a quitting rate. We have a quitting rate because people don't have access to just a few little basic things. Like, it took me 6 weeks to work out how to use Aweber, even using their tutorials. And I'm like, why should it take me 6 weeks? Why should it have taken me 6 weeks? So I'm like, the alarm bells went off, and I'm like, okay, well, everything I know how to do now, I could probably teach someone in 12 minutes. And so that's where the idea came from, getting all of these training videos in place, because everything that took me forever to learn how to do, the minute I knew how to do it, I put it into a training video. And very soon, a lot of people were coming to us because they knew we had training. And it was no skin off my nose to cut a 10, 12-minute training video to save someone 6 weeks of pure agony trying to work something out. And let's face it, for some reason, it's the darned autoresponders that trip everyone up. I don't know why. I don't know why.
It was just going through my head because I've recently moved from GetResponse to Aweber. So I've had to now work out how to get the lead pages to connect to Aweber, to connect to whatever, because it's different to GetResponse. And the training videos that they've got out on YouTube at the moment as their support videos are out of date. And I'd set it up how I thought was correct, but every time I was sending it to myself, I wasn't getting the email. So I went and got GetResponse again because I couldn't afford not to have capturing leads while I worked this out. And it's only by pure chance. The other day I submitted an email to a new one that I've created and it came through. I don't know what I've done, and I don't know if I can duplicate it again. But it's purely by trial and error, and it is frustrating. But it's, as I say, you know, when I had this issue and I went to even your blog, I praise your blog. I constantly tell people to go there for information because seriously, you've got so much information there. It's unbelievable. It's like a $1 million gold mine.
Oh, thanks, honey. Thank you. Thank you. And if you ever, or any of your viewers ever need training on something, if we know how to do it, just reach out, because, you know, Alex is the one that loves to, I mean, Alex uses lead pages, so he would love to do training videos on that, because then he knows that I can use that as content for the blog that makes the blog richer and stronger. So, you know, to yourself and to your viewers, if you have any, you know, trainings that you need done, just reach out. You know, we're more than happy to do them. I mean, again, that was what the team was founded on. It was founded on being a training base for new people to get them through the initial phases of overwhelm.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of the new people that are in at the moment, who are wanting to like get up and run. And I take my hat off to Dave as well, David Wood, because they've done something this year which I've never seen Empower do before. In that they've actually brought out all these training sessions for us. And, you know, you were on the one, and that was when I discovered you were a 6-figure earner. I go, what the hell? That little so-and-so. I knew you guys were doing well, but, you know, like, you, as I say, you're so humble. You just keep it so quiet. And I go, whoa, I know her.
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you know, it's funny though, because, you know, like when you come from down under, right? We do have this thing where, you know, we have, like in Australia especially, we have this thing called the tall poppy syndrome. So it is really uncomfortable for us to toot our own horn, right? Because, you know, there's always someone out there who wants to, you know, chop the poppy off, right? Whereas in America, they are encouraged and admired for their great achievements. You know, they have medals on the walls, they have plaques, they have trophies, and they really embrace success. And it's so easy for them to just, you know, share the results, right? But for us that come from down under, it's a different thing, because we're told to, you know, just sit in the corner and be quiet and just, you know, go about your business. You know, so I guess that's where that comes from. Yeah.
Oh no, I can totally relate, because I also don't, you know, I get excited when I have little wins, and I do my little dance and all the rest of it, and I go woohoo, and when my son comes home it's like high five and all the rest of it. But I don't feel comfortable going out there going choo choo, look what I've done. I must say I did it this morning though, because Mike Hobbs wrote, he had a little competition running, and I was on it, and I thought, okay, I'm going to take you up on this. And I did a lot of manual posting last night. So I took action, and I did something that I knew how to do, and I came in the top 5.
Well done.
And on the leaderboard was like Jessica what's his name? His wife?
Mike Hobbs' wife?
No, Jessica
Higdon,
yes, yeah. So she came in first. Then there was Sandra Shane. or Sean.
I don't know these people.
There's Kevin Souza, and there's Justin Berenger. And coming in fifth was little old me.
Well
and I
done,
thought this was
darling.
hysterical. I woke up this morning, I'm going, what? So I put it on Facebook. I'm on the leaderboard.
Well done, darling. Congratulations. And you should promote those results. When you achieve a result like that, one of the reasons why you should promote that result is to show to other people that it's doable. Anyone can get those results if you put in the work. So yeah, those are the types of results you really want to be sharing those, you know. And the quickest way to get out of the newbie zone is to always be promoting your last result, and then saying to people, hey, if you want to find out how I did this, you know, hit my link, join my team, you know, I'll teach you everything I know. Because knowledge is power.
Because I put it out there, and there are a couple of people saying, we can't find you on the list. We've looked at this. I'm going, but yes, it was just an affiliate competition that my cards ran, and I just happened to say, well, fine, I'm going to do it.
Now, isn't that interesting that when you made a decision to do it, you did it and you got on the leaderboards?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
It was amazing, and it was such an awesome feeling.
Well done, darling. Well done. But you made a decision. You made a decision.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it is. It's a decision you make that you are going to achieve a certain result, and you're going to do whatever it takes to get that result.
Well, yes, and it also demonstrates it is doable. Except now I've got people thinking that I'm hiding some magic secret from them, and they're going, you haven't shared anything with me. And I'm going, well, there's nothing to share.
Well, that's the funny thing, and I got this from the master's course the other day. Everyone's looking for the secret. So what would happen if you acted like you had the secret?
I do have the secret.
Exactly.
Just like you do.
Exactly. And what's the secret? The secret is knowledge. That's the secret. So always be promoting your last result, and yeah, act like you have the secret, because you do have the secret. To someone starting absolutely brand new today, you are a guru in their eyes. You are an absolute freaking guru. And you always must remember that. So act as if you do have the secret, because you do. And it's up here. You know everything that there is to know to teach someone how to make a six-figure income. You know it. It's all up here.
Yeah. I know I've got it, because I have been working with a couple of people, and it's just highlighted exactly how much I do know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Right. How would you encourage newbies or people before they actually sort of get the stage of saying, this is not for me, or this is too hard? What would you say they should be doing to keep themselves motivated and taking action and doing things that's moving them forward?
They must listen to the inner circle every single day. I swear to you, those inner circles saved my life. See, when we first started in the business, those inner circles were Monday night calls. And those Monday night calls, it was the middle of the afternoon for me. Those calls, it was a Tuesday afternoon, I beg your pardon, saved my life. I would literally be choking with fear and doubt and uncertainty by Monday, that I knew that if I didn't get the call the next day, I might not be around another week. And then Dave Sharp or Dave Wood or Tony Rush or some legend would come out on the call, and he would say one thing, just one thing, to get me through another week. Mm-hmm. And then I'd go through that week with all of that, you know, passion burning from that call. And then come the following week, it's like fear, doubt, uncertainty. Can I do this? And that Tuesday would come around for the Monday night call, and someone would say one thing. David Wood might scream something out, right? And I'm like, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can do this, right? And for another week, I was so freaking pumped that, yes, I can do this. I needed to be freaking pumped for 9 months, because nothing was really happening like I needed it to. Mm. You know, we had huge, how shall I say it? We had huge needs, and they were not being satisfied at that point in time. It was nerve-wracking, but those Monday night calls got me through, right? And then those Monday night calls got me to my first event, right? So those inner circles are, and I recommend that people start, if they're brand new, they start right down at the bottom.
Yeah.
from, I think it goes back to I want to say mid 2011, something like that, because they uploaded some calls prior to Empower being born. And then you get a sense of what this company is about and what it was founded on. And you just know that if you plug in daily and you follow the 8 core commitments, you're going to make it work. And the people who struggle are the ones who are not plugged in. They are not on the Monday night calls. They are not listening to their inner circles. They are not going through their products. They are not reading. And I know who they are, because they have this jaded look, you know, and they're starting to talk negatively, and they're starting to like a little mosquito, right? And I hear them. I don't tolerate mosquitoes in Tilt. One of the interesting things about our community is that we don't have any negative ninnies in our community. Every single person within that community is uplifting everyone every single day, and that's because they follow their core commitments. You know?
Yeah, I think
that's what I would say. You've got to be doing the inner circles.
Yeah, I must say that I actually enjoy going back to the old ones.
I love the old ones.
Yeah, they are. There's some really, really good ones in the archives.
Yeah. Yeah, the old ones are great. They're just brilliant. They're just they're legendary. They're legendary. Absolutely legendary. Yeah, so anyone's brand new, you got to plug into the products. The answers you seek are in the products. The answers are not out there. Okay, they're not out there. They're in your products. And if you are stuck, you will find the answers you need in your products. The answers are not out there. They're inside your products. And when you become a product of your products and you master the products, you will get the results you deserve. No questions.
Okay, well, I think that's an awesome way to wrap it up, because it is, we need to be products of the products, and we need to have confidence and belief in the company. So Erica, if there's anything you'd like to share with the audience before we sort of wrap it up.
Belief. You must believe. And you mentioned it just now. You must believe in your products. You must believe in your company. You must believe in your leadership. And most importantly, you must believe in you. You must believe in you. You must believe in you, which is why we recommend reading so much, because the more you read, the more you believe that you can do this.
I think it goes a step further than just believing in yourself. You actually have to love yourself, and you have to accept who you are. Because, you know, we're all different, but if you can't love yourself, then you're not going to attract people to you either.
Good point. Very good point. Yeah.
So
thank you for having me, darling.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for giving up your time. And I really appreciate you joining us this evening, and hopefully that our viewers will have benefit by this. So thank you very, very much, and call it a wrap.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Erica. Have an amazing evening.
My pleasure.
Cheers.
Thank you, darling.